going on, folks? My name is JP, and you are listening to The 1265, a podcast 100% focused on the Green Bay Packers. We're brought to you by allwisconsinathletics.com. All Wisconsin, all athletics, all the time. Joined by my left-hand man, Arrick, as usual. Arrick, what is up, man?
Well, not a whole lot. Getting ready for some football this week. Got some good games coming up. Always better to talk about football after a 55-14 smackdown of the Bears. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that was amazing. We're going to get to Bears-Packers in a little bit. So about that Chicago-Green Bay game, that was really good. It was a lot of fun. The first half was great. You see Rodgers throw 6 in a row. It was ridiculous. Did the punter come out in the first half at all?
They did not have to punt in the first half.
I didn't think he did. Yeah, I was there live. Got hooked up with a ticket. It was pretty fun. I left in the third quarter, to be honest with you. I didn't want to sit in the cold to watch Matt Flynn play. Yeah. But that's what the preseason's for, is to watch them guys. I had to work in the morning. Whatever. It was a lot of fun though. How did it come off on the presentation side on TV? Did you enjoy the game?
I enjoyed the game as usual. The only thing I can add is that Chris Collinsworth needs to go.
Is he bad? Was he bad?
Yeah, he can't say anything positive.
No, he always finds something. He always talks like this. And Rodgers said, that's 6 touchdown passes, and they should probably pull him.
Yeah,
he's got that monotone, low-tone voice.
I've never been a Chris Collinsworth fan, and
no.
Bring back John Madden. And Al Michaels.
Wouldn't that be great? He's like the Jim Ross of football. That was a wrestling joke, by the way. But going back to that Bear game, the first 2 touchdowns were both tight ends, if I recall. That was pretty cool.
That was the first time since, 2000, I believe first time since 2009, 2 Packer tight ends caught a touchdown in a game.
Let me guess, the other 2 was Donald Lee and Jermichael?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
Donald Lee and Jermichael Finley. I believe 2009, I could be wrong.
Yodo. But yeah, Bears-Packers was fun. It was exciting, and after the first half was over with, everybody, I was going to leave at half.
Was there a lot of people leaving at halftime?
There were, and I was going to be one of them. I'm not going to lie to you, but we were talking amongst each other in the crowd, and we're like, the guy behind me was like, dude, yeah, Rodgers, he can get the record. He's got 6 TDs. I was like, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, oh man, I better stay. I don't want to be leaving and hear that he scored the record. I'd be pissed. Yeah. I'd lie to you all and say I was there the whole time and saw everything. But so I stayed a little bit, and he was in that one drive, and then the whole time I'm telling people around me, I'm like, they should really pull him. He does not need to be out there. They're down that much, and sure stuff, Alex edit that out. But sure thing, they start hitting a little lower. He starts getting a little chippier, and the last thing you want is a guy like Rodgers out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to see Matt Flynn, so we're all happy.
Yeah, we're all thrilled with that. I would have rather saw Tolzien in that form.
Anytime you have your backup quarterback in the regular season, it's usually a good thing. Or I should say, anytime you have the choice to put your backup quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wasn't a good thing last year. Wasn't a good thing. We saw a lot of backup quarterbacks. But Bears fall behind quick. Jay Cutler, all of a sudden, you see his demeanor change. I don't know if it even changed. I think it was like that to begin with, but
yeah,
maybe he's having a nicotine fit.
He's having a tough time, and you've told me, and people have told me before. How happy are you that he has that mega extension with the Bears?
Well, I'm happy about it, but I just don't get it. I don't understand how and why they ever gave him that money.
I don't know. He's definitely struggling as of late, and that's nothing that I'm ashamed to say, because it's the Bears. We should kind of be happy. So there's that.
I guess it's better than Grossman.
Orton.
Well, no, Orton, he's doing his thing in Buffalo right now. You can't say that. He's winning more games than Jay Cutler is right now. He's better than McCown, but
Jason Campbell.
Yeah,
Bears past quarterbacks.
They've had their share, that's for sure. And who's their backup right now? It was Jimmy
Clausen.
Yeah. Jimmy Clausen. We saw Santonio Holmes had a 10-yard catch. And then the next day he was released.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting. Everybody thought it was going to be like some big thing when he came in. Clearly wasn't. There were a lot of good plays, though. One that stood out to me being there was watching a punt play where Packers, they did punt. They did punt because Devon House was running down to make a tackle, and then I forget what the Chicago Bear was, but he's released as well. But he turns around and pops Devon House right in the helmet, and what was amazing was that House didn't react. He didn't go at him or anything. He just kept on with the play. He was like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to make this play. Mm-hmm. You're going to get released tomorrow. None of this is going to matter. If you looked into his crystal ball, he could have said that. But it was really exciting to see a guy like Jordy get his as usual. They're still, wow. Yeah, it's insane.
Lacey, my favorite play of the game was, other than that deep Jordy pass, was probably that screen to Lacey.
Yeah, how you see a guy like Jordy down there blocking. And
I mean, how many other these top receivers, a lot of them aren't out there blocking every single play like Jordy Nelson is.
Exactly.
Definitely earning every penny of that contract, that's for sure.
And that's like the first time I've seen a guy get that kind of money and then outplay that money.
Yeah,
because usually it's like you get a lot of money and then you underplay and then everybody's like, oh, I want to give him that money,
Yeah.
But I mean, the Packers are really cautious when they do hand out those big deals, and this is why.
You can almost say that he's underpaid at $40 million.
You could.
You can say he's underpaid.
I honestly think that he's going to be a Packer for life.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he's kind of like a driver type guy or Favre. Well, I mean, we know with Favre. You get what I'm saying.
But the coolest part about Jordy Nelson's game is that he does all this stuff. He could be the biggest jerk in the world. He could be like the biggest loudmouth receiver. Now, I'm glad that the diva receiver era is over, but he could be like the loudest celebration, all that, but he just gives the ball to the ref and, going to the sideline. Yeah, that was an 80-yard touchdown, but I'm going to give the ball to the ref.
Yeah, speaking of that, I don't think I've ever seen Jordy Nelson, do any crazy celebration. Yeah, spike here and there, but he's just scored an NFL touchdown. You have the right to do a little something.
Yeah. But getting the two tight ends involved, I think that's a thing to come. I think they're going to do that a little more here. Let's talk a little bit about the defense. Was amazing. We talked last week about that middle linebacker position with Burke Griffin.
And voila.
And that was one of the main things we focused on was what are they doing there, And then all of a sudden you see Clay playing ILB and you're like, what is this? And then he's everywhere. Best play, I think, of the game was when they were doing the end around with the wideout and Clay just pops him. Dude stops dead in his tracks. Clay looks over him. Cutler's whining, walking off, and Rodgers on the sideline laughing about the whole thing. That just summed up the game. Yeah. Let's get some thoughts from you. What did you think from watching it at home? Like, how was it?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's just sounds really plain and whatnot, but that's how I sum it up. It was a lot of fun.
Elaborate, though. What was going on through your head when you were watching all these touchdowns pile up? Was the number in your head, like, could Rodgers get the record? Or what were you thinking the whole time?
I was thinking, am I dreaming? Because I sure did not expect that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bears aren't the best defensive team, but it's not... You don't see 55-14 blowouts in the NFL anymore. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
And that offense was just clicking at every single play, that everybody was on the same page, and man, this is the perfect time for that to happen. And
the offensive line held their own very well against Chicago's D-line. And, I thought, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I've ever seen 42-0 at a half. I don't think I've ever seen that, let alone by one dude.
Yeah.
Like, they made a big deal a couple weeks ago when Roethlisberger threw 6 touchdowns in a whole game. Rodgers did that in a half.
Yeah.
In a half,
He's something special, that's for sure. Yeah, and basically it's just one of those things when you're watching and you just can't get enough. It's everybody, and I'm not a huge blowout person. I've got kind of like a close game here and there. Mm-hmm. But, man, that was just fun. And every now and then it's good to have one of those games just to kind of put the league on notice that, look out. It's November football, getting into December football. I think this Packers team is for real.
I do too. I do, but I don't, man. And this is where I'm going to get a lot of flack from. I do, but I don't. The reason why the defense is clicking, against Chicago, but the defense doesn't click against
New Orleans,
or even Miami for that matter. The defense didn't click when it mattered against a high-powered offense, but then, they already beat the Bears like this. Not like this, but they already beat the Bears. The Packers are 6-3. That's huge. That's great. All that matters is the record. But would you trust the team that went up against the Saints, against the Seahawks, against the 49ers, against the Saints again? Would you trust that same team? I mean, you hope you get the Bears team, but I think the true Packers team is what we saw against New Orleans.
I don't know. It's just so hard to say. Here, I'll use the oldest cliche in the book. Once you hit the playoffs, that's a brand new season.
Yeah, it is. And, we've seen it time and time again. Like, lately, it's just been that wild card team that makes it and runs with it,
Now, since we're talking about the playoffs, as crazy as it is right now, how hot the Packers are, 6-3, looking like one of the best teams in the NFL, they would not be in the playoffs if the season ended today.
No, because Detroit keeps skinning by.
But Detroit's got two tough games coming up.
What's weird, though? We were in that boat last year where a team like Arizona that was what?
We seem to be in every year.
Arizona was what, 10-6 last year?
Didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't make the playoffs. We were 8-7-1 and made the playoffs. And right now we're looking at New Orleans, who is like 5-6, I want to say, or 4-6, something like that. 6. And they're in a losing record, and they'll make the playoffs if they started today, but the Packers wouldn't. And
it's the beauty of having a pretty bad division.
I guess. But it also sucks because that best team. Well, I guess in those divisions, those wins mean more though. Like the NFC West.
NFC wins. That's why. And this this game coming up on Sunday is going to be huge. Not just because it's an NFC game. It could be a tiebreaker at the end of the season. It really could come down to Green Bay and Philadelphia tiebreaker scenario.
Like Friday Night Lights, flip a coin at the old gas station.
It's going to be.
We'll talk about Philly in a minute, but first let's get up to these injuries. So we got a little bit of injury news, not too much. It's always a good thing. What do you got for us, Eric? Dr. Eric?
Yeah. All right, well, for the Packers today, same old. We had sitting and laying. They did not practice today.
Too much
just kind of precaution. Yeah, probably. Well, you never know with those guys. And then Brandon Bostic is now looking like he could miss a little bit of time. So he contributes in the game Sunday night, and another setback for him. Gotta feel bad for the guy in that part. And then J-Ron Elliott's a new injury. I believe it was a hamstring.
What did he do? He was out there.
He was inactive, wasn't he? No, he was active.
What the hell?
I don't know. These things just seem to pop out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so. Because the Bostic one, I don't see him coming back next year if he's always hurt.
He does something and then he's
always hurt.
He's got such potential. That guy's his size is just...
But so does Richard Rodgers, and they don't use him like they should either.
Yeah.
So.
And then the Eagles, I don't know if we have enough time for this part, but they had Nick Foles, that's it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is it bad? Like, no, I didn't even...
Nick Foles was the only one not practicing today for the Eagles, and he's, of course, all with that same injury Aaron Rodgers had.
Yeah, so now Eagles fans don't know how we felt going every week. Is he going to play? Is he going to play?
I don't know. Like, I would almost rather have Mark Sanchez out there if I'm an Eagles fan.
Speaking of the Eagles, they come to Lambeau Field on Sunday, which I heard was like a high of like 23 at this point for Sunday's forecast. That's like going to be freezing. That's going to suck. But Philly's a cold weather team as well. As we know, they're right by the water.
They have to play in it too.
So. Yeah, and they actually get like more snow than we do in some of the games. Yeah. Remember last year when it was Detroit and we were sliding around in the snow? That looked like a fun one.
Yeah.
But so we got the Mark Sanchez-led Eagles coming to Green Bay. My thoughts on this are clear. I think LaShawn McCoy underperforms. I think Mark Sanchez had a fluke game. I'm not going to lie. I think he's good. I think he fits that system well.
He did play Carolina.
Exactly. I think LaShawn McCoy underplays. I think Mark Sanchez sucks. And I just think that defense isn't on par either. I honestly think Green Bay comes into this game, and I think we put the hurt on them. I don't think it's 42 points and a half, but I think it's Green Bay by a little bit.
Yeah, and my basic couple things that I look at for this game is Mark Sanchez. He knows this is his time. It could be his last shot. I mean, so he knows he's got to step up. How perfect is the situation? You're handed the offense, you're handed the team to a first place team, a playoff team. If you blow that, well, you could be done.
You want to know something really cool that I saw? I saw it online the other day, and how it went. It was like the circle of life with NFL quarterbacks. It's all dramatic and everything. But it was Michael Vick starts in Philly. Okay, follow me here. Vick gets hurt. Foles steps up for Vick. Okay, Vick goes to the Jets, and Vick takes Geno Smith's job. Okay, you follow me here?
Yeah.
Now Geno Smith gets hurt, so Vick's there, right? All of a sudden, you come back to Philly, and because Geno Smith took Mark Sanchez's job. That's how it goes. Okay, so Vick from Philly.
Oh, yeah.
Vick from Philly to the Jets, okay? And there's Sanchez in there. All of a sudden, Vick gets over Sanchez. So Vick's, and now it's like a full circle here where Geno Smith got hurt. Now Vick's starting again. And now here comes Mark Sanchez, full circle where Vick was.
That's the same thing with Derek Carr the whole Derek Carr, David Carr.
Yeah.
Where
isn't that weird?
With Matt Schaub.
Yeah. Schaub took his brother's job, and then he came in and took his job. It's just the circle of life in the NFL. Yeah. So that's as dramatic as we're going to get today. But, like I said, I think Green Bay at home this year is a different team as well. I think the Eagles are nobody to walk all over. I don't think that this is a gimme. That last time I checked, they still have a winning record. They're still one of the best in the NFC. But I think we beat them. And I think we beat them with ease this week.
Well, and then that Chip Kelly knows how to coach offense.
Yeah, he does some weird stuff.
Yeah, that'll be tough. That'll be a test for the Packers. Like another key of mine is Sproles and McCoy. Yeah. You cannot let them win the game. It's just going to be... That's probably the toughest rushing attack the Packers have gone up against.
Not really, though.
I think so.
I mean, this year, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But, I mean, statistic-wise, no. Because LaShawn McCoy is underproducing every single game that he's ever played this year.
Packers are ranked 30th in the NFL. Not last anymore.
Yeah, we're up 2 spots, man. You know who took over those 2 spots?
Who was 31 or 32 now?
Yeah.
I know the Giants are 32. Titans are 31, I believe.
Are they?
Titans
Good.
And Giants.
Good.
And yeah, well, here's another thing. Casey Matthews and Clay Matthews will be going at it.
I didn't even know Casey Matthews still played.
For the Eagles linebacker. And another fun fact, the Packers are wearing those throwback uniforms.
That's not a fun fact.
No.
I don't like them.
The Powerball numbers on
the Powerball, the Winnie the Pooh bellies. And then they got the Pac-Man helmets. I
don't know if they... Because I saw today in practice, they still had the stickers and all that on the helmets. So I don't know if they're keeping the stickers on the helmets. Because I remember last year they were practicing with a helmet.
Well, that'd be stupid to wear your regular helmet with that.
So that'll be something to watch for all the people who like to watch those kind of things.
I hate those uniforms. I'm not going to lie. I wish we had some cool ones.
Anything beats the Pittsburgh Steelers Bumblebee uniforms.
Those are goofy. No, you remember the worst uniform was Denver of 2009 alternate. They wore brown striped pants and the brown and white.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
You remember that? They wore yellow jerseys.
I was going to say
the worst.
My favorite is the Denver, with the horse on the helmet.
Oh, with the orange jerseys?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
My favorite throwback is probably going to be San Diego's Powder Blues.
Let me take that back. The Rams.
Oh, yeah, the Los Angeles Rams?
No,
Or the blue and white.
They're what they used to, their one before this uniform.
The Greatest Show on Turf with Kurt Warner and all that? Yeah, that one's
good.
Cool. I like the LA Rams too, but then you got like I said, the powder blue Chargers. I love that. But that's their norm now.
Yeah, that you can't really...
So you take away the novelty of it. I remember when Denver started
Tampa Bay creamsicle uniforms. Those are kind of cool.
Those are cool. Better than their new ones. Yeah. I hate those new uniforms.
That's arena football look. Those Tampa Bay uniforms.
I'm just waiting for big sponsor patches the Blizzard have.
Yeah.
But okay, we're way off topic.
All right.
Let's go back to the Eagles-Packers. Yes. So they're wearing the okay uniforms. Last time they wore those uniforms, something really bad happened.
Just basically here, this is the key to the game. You have got to stop the Eagles' running attack of McCoy and Sproles.
And the screen with Sproles especially.
Watch out for Jeremy Maclin. He'll make a play or two every game.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that,
the
Packers should win this game at home. Rodgers is just on fire at home.
He is
4-0, 15 touchdowns. I thought it was 15 or 16, but it's 4-0, 15 touchdowns, 0 picks.
I don't remember the last time Green Bay was this good at home.
They haven't lost at home since December 2nd of 2012.
Oh, it's a playoff game at home.
Regular season game. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's Lambeau Field. You're supposed to
defend that place. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's go. What are you thinking for this game? For the final, what's your prediction here?
I am gonna say, let's see. I'll go Packers 27. Eagles 23 in a close game. Another close game. I know I say that every week, but I just think 27-23. Rodgers has about 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lacey gets back on track.
We say that every week.
Just shy of 100. Hey, we gotta be optimistic.
We'll be right one of these times.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go Green Bay 35. And I'm going to go Philly 17. 35-17. I think we pull off in the fourth. I think it's close in first, second, third. I think Philly takes the lead in the first half. But I think Green Bay just comes back and just boom. Green Bay just fires on all cylinders. But I mean, it would surprise me, I guess, because Green Bay the last 6 games has just been firing out right in the first quarter. And that's a problem the Packers have had for 2-3 years now.
Yep.
Where they always play from behind.
Yeah.
But now we're getting the first strike in there, so we'll see. It's good stuff. Good show today. You can follow us on Twitter, remember? You can follow Mr. Eric here at ARRICK Upton. Follow myself at Mr. Paradise 24. Follow All Wisconsin Athletics at AllWiscoATH. That's all on Twitter. Also, check us out on Eric's Packer Report. You just go in the little search bar on Facebook, click the little magnifying glass, type in ARRICK. It should pop right up. And that's the Facebook fan page we run. Always a lot of giveaways going there. And definitely we have a lot of fun. The interest. Yeah, we always update the news and sometimes I ask you guys questions, and you guys give goofy answers, and it's all a lot of fun. So, but from us to you, enjoy the weekend, stay warm, and we'll see you next week, guys. 0 to 100.